Good afternoon, welcome to Corey Michaels Movies once again. Glad you could be here, thanks for joining. Today we are going to dive into a movie that's really not talked about as much as it should be. When you think of Arnold, you think of Terminator 2. You think of Terminator 1. You think of True Lies. But what you don't think of is Last Action Hero. Unless you're already cool, then you probably don't need to see this video. But you might as well just stick around anyway.
Hey, Claudius. You killed my father. Big mistake.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. And Hamlet is taking out the trash.
Hey, you want to be a farmer? Here's a couple of acres.
I looked this thing up. We have a 37 on Rotten Tomatoes. To me, that's a problem. That's a big time problem. This is one of Arnold's underrated gems. A film that Arnold would probably come to regret alongside Batman and Robin, since he noted his first failure, even though I completely disagree, which it didn't help it was released so close to Jurassic Park. Let's actually get this thing going. This movie starts actually at the end of the movie. Well, a movie, as in Jack Slater 3. But as we can see in the real world, a young Danny Madigan is obsessed with the series, almost like a crack addiction. He skips school, he lies just to see a new release of a film. Which, it seems to be in a theater that's been abandoned for 30 years. But hey, I mean, I guess that adds to the charm of this film. The old usher there, he basically lives there, I'm assuming. He acts like he does. He lets Danny use his old Harry Houdini ticket that he was always afraid to use, but he said, hey, let's give it to this kid. We'll let him use it. And of course, it ends up working. It transports Danny into the actual Slater movie. Every kid's dream. Am I right? Being the sidekick to Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime? I mean, that's kind of still my dream. I'm sorry if I have to admit that here, but I need to come out. And now we really see how self-aware this movie actually is when you get inside of the movie that's within the movie. And that's basically the purpose of making this movie, if we're going to be honest here. We have over-the-top explosions, crazy car chases, everybody looks like they're out of Hollywood, and of course enough one-liners from Arnold to make your head literally spin around. Danny basically becomes a fish out of water here, but not in the sense that he doesn't know what's going on, because he knows everything from watching these Slater's movies all of his life. So it's a fish out of water story, but he's not really out of water. He knows how to survive in this. He's really able to help Slater think outside the box and almost rewrite these movies that are within the movie, the Slater series. And of course this ends up working until the bad guy gets a hold of the ticket, and then he's able to escape into the real world. As we see, it's far different than living in a movie. You just can't punch a car window and not hurt. I mean, maybe, you know, if you're on some kind of hard drug, every outcome has a consequence or an effect, which leads to the climax of the movie. At the big premiere of Slater 4 in the real world, where these actors and these movie characters meet up with each other. And Arnold meets Arnold and becomes Arnoldzilla and takes over the whole country. Actually, that's just a lie. Without giving everything away in this movie, it's just something I believe was far ahead of its time. I don't think people were ready for this to actually come out. Maybe they thought this was going to be another just typical run-of-the-mill action movie starring Schwarzenegger. They didn't know this was going to be a self-aware comedy, action, whatever else you'd want to classify this movie. I wasn't around in 1993. I was -1, so I wasn't there. I don't fully know why this movie didn't get responded to well. I said it was alongside Jurassic Park, which didn't help, but either way, this movie stands on its own. It's in one of my top 3 Arnold movies of all time, and it's weird because this movie shouldn't be that good, and it is that good. It's written well, it's paced well, the acting's great, the kid actor's great. what's his name, Austin O'Brien. Everything, the formula just works in this movie, and it's kind of astonishing to see the low ratings on it. But if you've not really read much into this movie and you've just seen the ratings and wanted to stay away from it, I would heavily try to change your opinion on that. I would give this movie a shot at least. Within the first 10 minutes, you know this is going to be a great Arnold movie. But maybe it's not for everybody. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm missing something. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think you should come back for more. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and make sure you comment down in the below. That'll really help me out. It'll make me feel better. It will make me sleep tonight. I need sleep. Most importantly, go catch a flick. Make sure it's this one.